welcome to Punchlines, everybody. I'm Frank Nicotero, longtime comedian, lifelong sports fan, and today we have more props than a Carrot Top show. Plus, we have three guests. We have three guests in the studio. It's a packed Friday show. We are going to have so much fun, but not nearly as much fun as Michael Bublé did at the NHL All-Star Game festivities. Take a look.
My buddy told me this is just a microdose of mushrooms, and
That is
he
what-
was lying. So I'll be honest, I thought I was in Blades of Glory for most of the time that I was out there, until it sort of settled down, and then I realized, holy it's an NHL All-Star Game.
So that was crooner Michael Bublé, who apparently was on some shrooms, had microdosed some shrooms, and thought he was a figure skater, thought he was John Heater or Will Ferrell in the movie Blades of Glory. But anyway, he later said, oh, no, I was just joking around. It's like, no, you weren't.
Are you more of a Jimmy McElroy guy or a Chad Michaels guy?
I'll go Chad Michaels.
I like him too, yeah.
Anyway, we have a packed show. We have Matt Neverett is here filling in for one more time today on this Friday, filling in for Ryan McCormick, who will be back Monday. Obviously, Tiffany had a baby on Sunday, little baby Aubrey. And again, Ryan, can't believe I'm going to be the godfather. This is really exciting for me. So anyway, thank you. I'm not. I barely know the guy. Anyway, we've worked together for 4 months. But I love him. He's a great guy. Anyway, I think we have a live shot of Ryan with baby Aubrey. Is that right?
Yeah, the baby, 5 days old, but already getting into some precarious situations.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Yeah, it's a first-time parent.
She's already grilling.
That's an adventurous kid.
She's on the roof. And what's the other one? Just hanging from the banister.
Dangling from the banister, yeah. Precariously close to that set of stairs, yeah.
And for like 6 days old, huge. Probably in the 99th percentile.
Well, the hand-eye coordination it takes to do some of those things. Yeah, Ryan's got a future athlete on his hands.
I love it. All right, listen, on the show in just a few minutes, the man who is front and center this weekend in the showroom here at South Point, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, he does a Phil Collins tribute show. I'm going Saturday night. I'm very thrilled for this. Phil Collins tribute. What's the best name ever? Still Collins. He's here. He's going to be in the studio in a couple seconds. Also, a comedian who I've never met, but I spoke to on the phone, originally from Denver. So he's a big Broncos and a Nuggets guy, diehard Nuggets fan to be clear. And he loves to bet on sports, which is great. He wrote on the hit show, The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, and has a new comedy title. This is a great title. Sweatpants in Perpetuity. He is not wearing sweatpants as he just walked in the studio. You can watch it on YouTube after you watch this show, before you wait for the 3 o'clock airing of Sports by the Book. Noah Gardenswartz. Am I pronouncing that right? No, good. No, we'll be in. We have so many guests. And if that wasn't enough, we talked about props. We talked about Carrot Top's got a lot of props. No, South Point's got a lot of props. Where's the packet, Matt? Look at this thing. This isn't even the thick one.
No, the other one's hiding. This is the thick one.
That's the thick one.
Brand new, fresh off the printer, still warm. About 10 minutes ago, 18 pages. And there's still more coming over the weekend.
Almost looks like a small phone book. Caden, a phone book is what we used to have to look up phone numbers in. He's only 20, Scott. He's only 20 years old. Have you ever called information? Jeez. Have you ever seen or used a rotary phone? Oh my God.
All right, I got one. Did you ever prank call somebody using *69 or *67 rather? Do you know what *67 is? Okay, but never made the prank call. Okay, knowing is half the battle.
Well, he's 20 years old, so it kills us all. Chris Andrews, the sportsbook director, right back here, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be packed. This weekend will be packed for college basketball, but are you kidding me? A week from this weekend, Super Bowl Sunday, Super Bowl 58, 6 miles down the road from us. We're myself, Jeff, and Alex. We're going to be covering the whole city. We're going to parties. We're doing everything. It's going to be a blast. You're looking at your watch already? Looking for kickoff time?
Well, I got a text from Chris. I actually shorted him a page.
Oh, you didn't?
19 pages on the prop sheet.
Chris.
And growing.
It's 19 pages. Don't screw that up. Okay, today is February 2nd. Cue the Sonny and Cher singing I Got You, Babe, because it's Groundhog Day. We're all going to do it in unison. 1, 2, 3. Groundhog Day. There you go, just like the movie. Yeah, so what happened with the groundhog today? Do we know?
Early spring.
Early spring.
I'm pulling up. As always, I've got statistics for you.
Okay, we need it in Vegas because it was in the 50s. We need warm weather here. It was ridiculous.
All right, Punxsutawney Phil predicted an early spring this morning.
Okay.
And there is a Super Bowl tie. The last 4 times he's predicted an early spring, the AFC has won the Super Bowl. 2013, it was the Ravens over the Niners. 2016, Broncos over Panthers. 2019, Patriots over Rams. And the last time the Chiefs and the 49ers faced off, it was in 2020.
Oh, my God.
It was an early spring from Punxsutawney.
Chris, add an extra page, 20th page. We need to make a prop bet on Punxsutawney Phil. I love that. So 6 more weeks of, no, it's an early spring.
Early spring, the exact opposite of
but
what you were saying.
it also means 6 more weeks of me betting overs, ladies and gentlemen. Who am I kidding? Baseball's coming, so I'm never going to stop betting overs. It's episode 81. Matt, you have a collage. We're going to do it after we bring on our first guest, who was kind enough to join us live in the studio. Now, I was walking across the hotel, as I often do. You guys know me. I like to roam around the South Point because there's so much to do. 11 restaurants, a 24-hour, 7 days a week Starbucks. I see a poster for the upcoming shows. They're always, the shows are great. Last Friday, we had, I believe his name was David Slayton. It was a Frank Sinatra impersonator. He was great. I see a sign that says Still Collins, a Phil Collins tribute act. He is here. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Scott. Scott is here, ladies and gentlemen. Scott, I don't even know your last name, Scott. I forget it already.
Gibbons, Gibbons.
How did I forget that? Scott Gibbons. He's wearing a Still Collins USA. I'm so thrilled for this show. I'm going Saturday. What can we expect to see? We see Genesis stuff. We see solo stuff.
Both.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, it's what it's all about. Number one, the authenticity comes from, fortunately, the voice.
Yes.
The next thing is, it's a great band. They're super hot people, and we have 2 drum sets. So when you walk in, if you've been to a Phil Collins or Genesis show before, you're going to see the 2 drum sets set up there because we start the show with 2 drums at the same time.
Is that a tip off to the opening? Because my girlfriend and I were trying to figure out the opening song.
Yeah. You want the song?
She seemed to think it was In the Air Tonight, which I said, that seems like an encore. That seems like a show closer. I said maybe Susudio. I don't know. A banger for sure.
I like where you're going here with this.
Okay.
Susudio is in the middle of the show.
Okay, all right, good.
All right, for a little bit of a change up.
All right.
We end on Susudio. Very astute.
Oh, God. All right, very good. All right, so listen, I'm super excited now. When did you discover that you kind of sounded like Phil Collins, and how long have you been a fan? Did you grow up a fan of Phil Collins?
I grew up a fan of Genesis.
Sure.
Back before this young man was born. I'm just jealous.
No, I know.
You know that. I'm just jealous. Here's the thing is that I was working in a record store.
Records were things you put on a turntable. Okay, all right.
Yeah, C2 Plastique.
Yeah.
Right, there you go.
One endless groove.
1976, I was listening to all the horn bands, Chicago, Tower Power, Earth, Wind, and Fire, etc. And Genesis came out with a brand new album in 1976, and I heard a song called Ripples. I thought, man alive, that's a beautiful, beautiful song. So I started singing it, and wasn't playing in a band at the time. I'd been in and out of bands in high school, etc. So nothing full-time. But kind of thought, boy, this might be fun one day, but that day is now. I fell in love with Phil Collins in 1980 when he came out with his own album, and then started touring with the
Is that Hello, I Must Be Going, or Face Value? What was his first?
Hello, I Must Be Going.
Hello, I Must Be Going. That had You Can't Hurry Love?
Yes, sir.
Okay, see, I'm telling you, I'm a nut. I'm waiting. I can't wait.
You've got
So
it.
you fell in love with Phil Collins, and then you started a band?
Ended up being that I was just jamming with other bands at the time, playing in other bands through high school and then into college, etc. And then moved to North Carolina with my wife, who's a heart nurse. Beautiful state. And we ended up having a Liverpool Beatles tribute band that I played in. Wore the wig so I could play drums and be Ringo.
You were Ringo? Oh, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was my first question when he told me that.
So you play drums too. So you are Phil Collins, right? You're playing drums and singing.
There's the authenticity.
Oh, my God, yeah.
One, it's nice to sing like Phil Collins because people expect that with their eyes closed.
Right.
People also listen with their eyes. So when you walk into the stage and you see 2 sets of drums and then the microphones for a horn section, and we start the show big like that, then it's a ton of fun. But you've got to play drums, and then a little tad of a lookalike like Phil Collins doesn't hurt.
Yeah, it does. You look like Phil. I mean, he's a very round face, and he's.
It took a while to pull all my hair out, but it was worth
there you go. Follically challenged. I don't know what you want to call it.
It was worth it.
He can say it. You can't.
And how long have you been doing this show?
This show's been going for 3 years with a brand new band put together within the last year. The horn section's from Las Vegas.
Okay.
2 singers are from Miami and Delray Beach in Florida.
Okay.
My other drummer's from Fayetteville, North Carolina. Guitarist and keyboard player are from the Orlando area.
Okay.
So it's just been great that these are all pros. We just send each other the MP3s and the lyrics, etc., and they just put it together.
Well, I've been listening to No Jacket Required in my car all week, the deluxe edition. I listened to a lot of. I listened to Turn It On Again live, which is a great show opener, right? That's what they open with. I think when I saw the Genesis at Three Rivers Stadium in Pittsburgh, Jerry. It was the day after my senior prom.
Yay.
And we got really tired in the middle of the show. I fell asleep a little bit, but I was 18 and it could have been the alcohol. But anyway,
No.
So, and I listened to Mama last night where he just crushes that vocal. I mean, Phil Collins is an underrated vocalist for the strength and power because everyone's like, oh, he was a drummer. Peter Gabriel's there. Oh, and he just jumped up. No, he's a damn good singer.
He is the third largest selling artist in the world to sell over 100 million albums with a band.
Right.
And then turn around and sell over 150 million albums as a solo artist.
As a solo artist.
But my question to Frank is,
yes,
who were the first two to sell over 100 million albums with a band
and
then 100 million albums as a solo artist?
Okay,
One of them's got to be
probably McCartney.
I was going to say McCartney. Yeah.
Boom. McCartney's
We were on the
got to
same
be.
page
As
there.
he probably sold more as a Beatle, but there's one more. It's not John Lennon because his
Who's
albums-
number two?
Number
Who's
two,
the second largest selling artist in the world to sell over 100 million albums with the band and then 100 million albums?
Paul Simon?
Oh, that's a good guess.
Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson. Oh, because
we counted the Jackson 5. Okay.
Michael Jackson.
Nice one. That's a great trivia question, which we always appreciate.
All right.
Well, listen, you can catch the show at 7:30, correct?
Yes, sir. Yep.
7:30 tonight. It's Groundhog Day. He's going to repeat the show in tribute to Groundhog Day on Saturday. That's the show I will be at. And then there's even a Sunday show. Hey, there's no football on Sunday. Don't even tell me the Pro Bowl counts as football. It doesn't because it's a skills competition. It's stupid. It's flag football. Come out and see our friend Scott Gibbons, who is doing a tremendous job. I cannot wait till Saturday. Chris Andrews, who will be later on the show to discuss these props, is coming with me. So we really appreciate you being here.
Excellent. Appreciate your hospitality. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Scott Gibbons, still calling.
Thank you.
All right, Scott. So we're going to jump to our collage, right? Okay, yeah, Scott, you can, yeah. Thank you, Scott. We're going to bring Noah in a minute. We have so many guests today. This is unbelievable. So like I said, today is episode 81. Is that right? Episode 81. Now, as you guys know, I always have Ryan, our producer, who will be back Monday. He always makes a collage of the jerseys 81. I will see you on stage, sir, on Saturday. I'm very excited. And then we have another guest coming in I've never met. This is a lot going on. This is the busiest show we've ever done. So let's take a look at the collage here that Matt has compiled in place of Ryan. Notable players to wear 81, you got to go T.O., right? All right, so Terrell Owens, and it's not Terrell. Don't call him Terrell. It's Terrell. No, have you experienced this? Did you? Okay, I did. I shot something in L.A. It was some sort of video game promotion thing he was doing, and I was hired by this company. We went to his place, and I said, hey, Terrell, what's going on? He's like, it's Terrell. I'm like, okay, I'm very sorry. So anyway, Terrell Owens, unbelievable wide receiver, number 81, Randy Moss.
So he wore 84 with the Vikings.
Okay.
But I grew up a Patriots fan, and he did a lot of really, really good things in New England. So he obviously makes this list. And top 3 guys, all Hall of Famers in this.
Wow. And I guess I could have waited till full screen to take a sip of the drink, probably, right? Is that what you're thinking? Okay.
No free pub.
Tim Brown, another I remember watching him play Notre Dame against Pitt. Tim Brown, total stud, another Hall of Famer. And then Torrey Holt. Okay, we were talking about the greatest show on turf.
Yep.
We had Isaac Bruce yesterday, right?
Mainly why I threw Torrey Holt on here today, yeah.
You have to. Looking at making a one-handed grab. And then everyone's got to throw a hockey player in, but this one's acceptable because he's wearing a Pittsburgh Penguins jersey. Get your marker out, Jerry. I'm not allowed to mention Pittsburgh on the show. It bothers Jerry. It's my hometown, Noah. But anyway, there we go. Phil Kessel.
He is the everyman hockey player.
Yeah.
If you could just as easily see him scoring a goal to win a game in overtime as you would getting a hot dog at the gas station.
Right.
And there aren't very many athletes like that. Phil Kessel, absolutely one of those.
Didn't he actually, wasn't there something about him and hot dogs? It's
he
ironic that
he
you
would
said
eat
that.
like an ungodly number of hot dogs.
No, he loved hot dogs.
Yeah.
And of course, if you want the best hot dog money can buy, right here, we have our hot dog cart.
But bring your cash.
Bring your cash. It's $1.50. You can only pay cash. But by the way, as I was using the restroom before the show, as I always do before I do anything, maybe I'm looking at Noah's like I know your urination schedule. We've never met. But there's a line at the hot dog cart. But today, it's a little scarier because it's everyone with crossbows and bow and arrows because there is an archery convention. There is, right? There's just not people. No, there is. And
you never know.
People are like, I'll take one. And they're like, and they just spear the hot dog right in midair.
We'll have to ask Chris when he comes on later because I saw a tweet. He was going back and forth with someone on social media the other day when they asked about how well the hot dog cart does.
Yes.
Chris said that there was a woman who used to run the hot dog cart.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Who retired driving a Mercedes-Benz solely from the tip money from the hot dog cart.
That's true. They would see her drive off in her Mercedes.
We got to ask Chris about that later.
We will. Chris will be here in a matter of moments. But why don't we bring in our second guest on this jam-packed Friday show? I've never met this gentleman. Now, we were introduced through Gary Bland, a guy who takes care of the Jimmy Kimmel Comedy Club, who books everything. I'm finally going to be there. I'll be headlining 3 shows in May. We'll be talking about that for, 4 months. So I'm very excited to do that. I got his name, and his wife is also a comedian, which is very interesting. I want to ask him about that dynamic. Anyway, as I mentioned before, he's from Denver. He's a big Nuggets fan, so he can gloat about them hoisting the trophy last year.
Right.
Writer on The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, and he's got a special on YouTube right now called Sweatpants in Perpetuity, which you can watch after this show, before Sports by the Book. It's Noah Gardenswartz.
Yeah, you nailed it.
No, nice to meet you. Buddy.
You didn't even have to ask how it's pronounced. You
Well,
just
you know,
got it. You read well.
It's that North Allegheny education.
Yeah, some would say a 5th grade level.
A 5th grade level almost. So
Great
Noah, thank you for coming in, first of all.
My pleasure. Thank you. Former comedian, I just decided I'm retiring and opening a hot dog cart.
Apparently
that's where the money is.
No, I'll tell you, the line is, and then there's another one we bring, Super Bowl Sunday, they're bringing a second one out, and that's like...
That's big news, yeah.
I believe it. I believe it.
But you figure if you pay $1.50 for a hot dog, you're going to tip that 50 cents every dog. You get
Sure.
2 and it's 3. Maybe you throw a $5
Listen,
down.
I was going to say, I bet you there's people that come off a heater at the craps table. They want 2 hot dogs,
Yeah.
$3. You keep the extra 2 on the 5. And now you're driving a Benz.
There you
That's
go.
how it goes.
Exactly. Now, you're originally from Denver.
I am.
I worked with a lot of comics from Denver. There's a guy when I first started named Matt Wood, or something Wood.
Well, so I grew up in Denver,
grew up
but
in
I
Den-
actually started comedy in Atlanta.
You started in Atlanta.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Went out there.
I
for
was just
school.
down in Atlanta last year and did the. It's a really bad booking for me. It was the Atlanta Comedy Theater.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's the Black Club.
The new one, yeah.
Yeah.
But the newer one,
Okay.
which was in the underground.
Okay.
And 5 shows, had a total of 37 people. But
Sure.
again, they didn't have their liquor license until the day before. Not a lot of people knew I was coming.
That's what we call in comedy a perfect storm.
Perfect start. It was
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
They're like, we haven't done any advertising. We don't have a liquor license
Yeah.
till the day before you get here. But you'll have great shows. And I had 3 friends drive in from the Carolinas, and that was a big draw the first night.
It's always the ones that the friends come to that are like the hell gigs. They've never seen you perform or haven't seen you in years.
I haven't seen it since the high school reunion.
Like, oh yeah, my buddy Frank, he's on
Yep,
TV.
yep.
He's doing all this stuff.
Yep.
Probably brought someone that didn't know you, and then they show up 12 people in the audience.
The last show of the week, no one was there at showtime. I said, okay, so Sunday, you're just going to pay us. We're going to leave. He goes, oh, we'll hold it. 15 minutes, 2 people walk in, a couple. We're doing the show.
Yeah, there's nothing worse than when you have sometimes I'll even be like, I'll pay to not do the show. You don't have to pay me.
Seriously.
I'll give back that part of the check. Just let me leave.
Yes.
And then they're like, we're going to hold 4 as the maximum or the minimum.
Yes.
And then like 5 people come in 5 minutes before and you have to do it.
We did it with
And
2, and it was 15 minutes late. So anyway.
And then the wait staff hates you because they have to stick around.
No, it's the worst. And then you're just doing a show for 2 people. It's like,
Right.
I felt like I was on an episode of The Bachelor.
Right.
You know, and like sometimes they just have those dream dates and they'll have a comedian or a singer. I'm like, this is it. It's just me and this 2 people right here. And I found out a lot about it. I actually got their social security numbers and passwords.
Perfect.
It was fascinating. So you're a Denver Nuggets fan and you like to
Huge.
bet sports. Did you bet the Nuggets last year?
Yes, I actually did. I bet them preseason at 20-1 to win the championship. And I'll tell you why. So
Okay.
Jokic was the 2-time MVP that everyone was down on, saying he wasn't a playoff performer because Jamal Murray was out.
Right.
I knew he had the heart of a champion.
Right.
But also, if you follow before that, Giannis was the 2-time champion that had no playoff success. Everyone was talking bad about him. He won the championship the next year, so I followed the formula.
It's a little pattern.
21 to pay out.
Now, see, patterns, that's
You know I'm all about that. Yeah, I got to look up one for this year. Yeah.
I took him again this year at 4.5 to 1, so not quite the payout, but I still think the repeat's coming.
And if they win, will he stick around for the parade? Because he seems so annoyed that he didn't stick around for the parade.
Did you see how drunk he got the entire
Once
team?
the parade happened, he's like, all right, if I have to do this,
But
I'm
actually,
gonna
I think right now the smart money bet is Jokic on MVP because Embiid is not going to hit the 65
That's
game
that new
requirement.
limit they have.
So
yeah.
it's basically between Jokic and Shea, maybe a little Luka right now.
Yeah.
But you can still get Jokic at, I think, 2-1 or 3-1 for MVP, and I would lock it in.
I like that he knows his numbers.
Yeah,
This is a
yeah.
perfect guess.
Yeah.
So you moved to Vegas, you and your
I did.
wife, who's
Six-
also a
6
comedian.
months ago, yeah.
Okay, that's up. I came in October, so we're
welcome.
we're close. And are you?
Well, as a resident, as a long time, I've been here longer than you now, so I can show you.
do you
the
have a
ropes.
driver's license yet?
I do. I switched over to Nevada early because they take care of their own out here. There's
do.
a lot of perks to a Nevada license.
By the way, I forgot to mention, because we have such a packed show, I was pulled over by the police last night on volunteer, going 59 and a 44.
Okay.
I did the old, guy pulled out in front of me. He's like, yeah, right.
Uh-huh.
So anyway, I'm like, a chance I can get a warning. He comes back with all my stuff. I didn't have my proof of insurance. Had to pull up the Progressive app. Showed it to him. He goes, all right, here's a warning. I'm like, thank you. So Officer Steele of the Henderson Police Department, thank you.
What a guy.
So do you play the Kimmel Club or what other?
Yeah, I was at Kimmel, I think 3 weeks ago. So Kimmel's is my favorite club in town. I do Kimmel's, The Cellar, Brad Garrett's. There's a lot of great clubs in Vegas, but Kimmel's has been very good to me, and I always have a great time
Very
there.
nice. And
y'all have a great time in May.
I can't wait. And Butch Bradley, who plays the LA Comedy Club, I don't know if you know Butch. He'll be here on Monday. He's a return of Butch Bradley. So I don't know if I put it in the calendar, Ann.
It's in the holy calendar.
It's in the calendar. I put it in the calendar. So who were some of your inspirations growing up? Who were some of your favorite comics?
I was always a huge Chris Rock and Mitch Hedberg guy.
Oh, wow.
Watched all the Carlin specials on HBO, obviously. Chappelle's early stuff was some of my favorite. So those are kind of like the four that I hung my hat on. Dimitri Martin was one of the first comics that I watched. I was like, oh, smart jokes for the right crowd can still really work. So yeah, those are
Dimitri Martin. There's a name right there. Very funny. But he
doesn't
does
get
the
his
stuff
due.
with the easel and all that.
Yeah.
He's very funny. So I just saw this now. We just started following each other, and thank you for that. And he's a good follow. So, what's your
Instant
handle?
follow back at Noah G Comedy.
Noah G Comedy. I have a newborn, but also there was a big announcement with Ludacris in this thing yesterday.
Yeah,
tell us about that. This is huge.
So it's actually a show we've been working on behind the scenes for almost 3 years now.
Okay,
because that's how quickly things work in television. Ludacris, before he was the famous rapper known as Ludacris, he was a radio DJ in Atlanta.
Yeah,
and he's always wanted to do a show about his time, like at a hip hop radio station in the '90s. So we created a show inspired. It's not the Ludacris biopic, but it's inspired by his time, about a group of DJs trying to get the morning show off the ground at a hip hop radio station in Atlanta in the '90s.
That is tremendous.
It sounds pretty similar. I don't know if you've seen it on Hulu. It's Wu-Tang, An American Tale, where it's kind of based off of some of their...
Right, Wu-Tang, that's New York and drama. This is a comedy, Atlanta. But, again, you think 90s hip-hop Atlanta, Noah Gardenswartz.
And by the way, if you had your Punchlines bingo card for Matt Neverett and you had Wu-Tang Clan, you can cross that off now. I never thought I saw... Matt never bringing up the Wu-Tang Clan.
Shaolin.
That's a very exciting. Now, as a comic, you're performing around town. You're also writing. You're doing a lot. What's someone maybe you've ran across? We love celebrity stories. You have a run-in story or a good story that we can share?
Yeah, sure. So as a comedian, as you know, we meet a lot of famous people, and a lot of our comedy peers are very famous. And I've always been good about not being starstruck. I've met Chris Rock, Dave Chappelle, Jerry Seinfeld. I meet them. They're great. I keep my mouth shut, stay to my own, but I don't flip out over it. When I lived in New York, I was a regular at the Comedy Cellar, great club, and the Comedy Cellar has what's known the comics table. It's like the infamous table in the back where you have to be a working comic at the cellar to work there. So I was sitting there before a show, and I didn't even realize how much I loved him until I saw him in the flesh. Ray Romano.
Oh, wow.
Everybody Loves Raymond is my favorite TV show of all time. So I would have never expected it, but Ray Romano came in to do a set, and I was legitimately starstruck.
Wow.
It was the first time I didn't have words to say, so I just kind of silently shook his hand. Now, at the Comedy Cellar, when the most famous comedians are on the lineup, they'll use a pseudonym so people don't know if they're coming or not. And it's always a ridiculous name, like Zippy McGee. It's like they go out of their way to use a joke name on the lineup.
Okay.
So Ray Romano sits down, he looks over the lineup, and he goes, who's Noah Gardenswartz? Because he thought it was such a Jewish name that he thought it was like a joke of an alter ego. And
I've never seen Matt laugh this hard.
And so that's what I just reached over like, Noah Gardenswartz. That's my actual name. I'm not Zippy McGee of Judaism.
Oh my God. That's hysterical.
Yeah, it was fun.
But when you meet an idol like that, it's great to talk to him.
Yeah, it was a good laugh, and he's a really nice guy. He's great.
And by the way, your impression of Ray Romano, not bad.
I'm not an impressionist, so I just kind of threw that out there, and I felt okay about it.
Give us a little more Ray. I don't want to jinx. Well, then you worked Brad Garrett's Comedy Club too, so you got to meet Brad, who I remember from Star Search. So when I met him, and by the way, he's 6'8", 6'9".
Yeah, I'm 6'4".
Okay, yeah.
And he makes me feel small. In
the chair, I look. I mean, I'm huge.
I scooted down out of respect for you. It's your show.
Letterman thing where I try to sit as higher than everybody.
We're all 6'4" sitting down.
Yeah. I met Brad Garrett. He's a massive man. His hand. I mean, I met him it was Cleveland. At a club like 25 years ago, whatever. And so I'm happy for his success. He was such a great guy to work with. But I remember him being on Star Search, doing like Jim from Taxi impressions and all this stuff. So I talked to him about his Star Search sets, and he was just like, I can't believe you remember that. And when I met Arsenio Hall, it was the same thing. Arsenio Hall comes into the Ice House in Los Angeles, and he comes up to me, and he's like, and by the way, I watched the Arsenio Hall show. Like, come on. He was like, I went to college for a semester at Duquesne University. I had a 3.2. Blood alcohol level. Oh,
there it is. Preview of Kimmel's.
It's the opener. So I was commuting, and then one day I was down on campus with my mom. She goes, "It seems like you want to live here." I'm like, "Yeah." So I get a room, and the roommate's name was Frank, and I had my TV on at night, and I put Arsenio Hall on. He's like, "Are you gonna leave the TV on?" And I'm like, "Well, yeah, I was gonna watch Arsenio Hall show." And he's like, "Oh man." And I'm like, well, the first thing I put on the application who I wanted to live with was someone who stayed up late, right?
Okay.
And I even turned the brightness all the way down. So I'm like, okay, So he got really pissed. So I, in the middle of the night, 6 nights later, I moved out and I stiffed him for a $10 phone bill.
Wow.
I saw him on campus once. He's like, "Where's my $10?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'll get it to you."
That's how much you love Arsenio.
Yeah, well,
Like,
so I was like-
that's my deal breaker.
Right?
If I
So-
can't watch Arsenio, I'm out.
Well, exactly. So I end up meeting Arsenio Hall at the Ice House one day. He comes out. He's like, "Hey, man, good to see you. Haven't seen him in a while." He starts talking to me like he knows me. And I'm like, oh, God, he must think I'm Noah Gardenswartz. I don't know. So about 10 minutes later, he comes up to me and he's like, "Man," he goes, "I thought we were friends and we knew each other. And now I'm thinking like I did something wrong." And he's like, "No, man." He goes, "I used to watch that show Street Smarts that you did. You were really fun." I'm like, "Oh my God." So I say to him, I said, "Well, I've been watching you." I said, "I remember your national TV debut on the Mike Douglas show." And he fell back into the wall. He's like, "What? How do you remember that?" And I said, "You did a joke about licking the joint and all this stuff." And he's like, he goes, "I'm going to do that joke tonight." He goes, "I forgot about that."
Amazing.
So, and that was like that. And I took a picture and, so meeting your heroes, it's not all bad.
You know, it would have been great though if he told you like, "Yeah, I actually got divorced because my wife wouldn't let me watch Street Smarts."
Noah, I love it. And are you performing anywhere around town soon?
No, I'm actually for the next few months. I'm focusing on the show.
You got to work on the show.
But when I have some dates, I'll make sure to come back and plug them.
Oh my God! Listen. You have open door policy here for comics. We
Appreciate
love
it.
having
Thank
you guys on. And your wife, Esther.
Yeah, Esther Steinberg.
Esther Steinberg.
Yeah, who Ray Romano would also probably think is a fake name.
Here's Esther Steinberg. That was Kermit the Frog. Well, Kermit, Pat Mahomes.
It's all in the same.
It's all kind of in the same area there. She's going to be on February 21st. So we have his wife coming on. What's it like being married to a comic?
It's great.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, we're not competitive with each other. We're supportive of each other. We have a very fun household. Nothing is off limits. We always say, like, if we have jokes about each other, our only limit is, like, is it funny? If it gets the laugh, you can say whatever you want on stage about us. And I never have to explain why I have to go out late at night, why I'm on the road. She completely gets it and vice versa. So it's been great.
I love that. That is fantastic. Noah, thank you for being here. We're going to take a 2-minute break? We could go right in. We can thank him and go right into the post with punchlines. Why don't we do that? Keep it rolling. It's a Friday.
We got momentum, baby.
Let me take a sip of caffeine. I have to shake Noah's hand. I want to show him how big I am too. So
Yeah, here.
we're gonna toss to a break. We'll be back in 2 minutes. We got post with punchlines, and then Chris. Come over here.
Variety for every
we already went to the break. What the fuck? Hey, buddy, thanks for
something
coming
for
in.
everyone.
I understand the
unbeatable
confusion now
prices.
because they're like a video link. and
Or
I'm like,
if hunger
I'm like,
strikes in the middle of the night, join us
But
at
you came
Coronado
in.
Cafe.
What?
The American
We were gonna
menu
do
offers
this-
breakfast,
Jerry,
lunch, and
can you
dinner
get a picture
24 hours a day. Plus a Chinese kitchen for authentic Chinese dishes from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. From steak and eggs to wonton soup, it's fast and friendly service 24/7. When you need a quick pick-me-up, you can find it at our state-of-the-art Starbucks just inside the main South Point entrance. Order ahead with the Starbucks app for easy mobile order pickups. Or enjoy your favorites in the relaxing dining area anytime, day or night. If you love Mexican food, Baja Miguel's has all of your south of the border favorites. There are dozens of classics to choose from, like fajitas, ceviche, chimichangas, tacos, and more. And for spirit lovers, Baja's colorful non-smoking tequila bar is right outside. Or maybe you're in the mood for seafood. Big Sur Oyster Bar has fresh seafood prepared right before your eyes. Savor freshly shucked oysters, crab legs jambalaya, shrimp and lobster. Beers on tap and a selection of fine wines are perfect to pair with your seafood favorite. Whether lunch or dinner, you'll love this fun atmosphere, located just off the casino floor. Ready to shake things up? Step back in time and treat yourself to one of the oldest restaurant chains in the country. Steak and Shake, famous for original mouth-watering steak burgers and hand-dipped milkshakes in a variety of flavors. For some old-fashioned fun, try Steak and Shake.
Have excellent news.
Yes.
You have made the F-Bomb Club.
No, I did not.
Yes, you did.
Wait, I thought we were in commercial. I did not swear.
Yes, you did.
But I thought I looked up, I saw a picture of oysters. Oh my God. All right, well.
Did you hear clear from your audio off?
I saw oysters.
You didn't hear?
I was bringing Noah over for the mismatched picture, and I was like, I was all excited. Then I look up, I saw oysters, so I was upset. And, oh God.
Look at the live chat. Everybody heard it.
You know what? By the way, it was bound to happen, ladies and gentlemen. It was bound to happen eventually. Matter of fact, it's a miracle I made 81 shows without. Let's be honest. Anyone who knows me is like, holy crap, you did 81. I almost swore again. No, it was great. Wasn't he great?
He was hilarious.
Very funny gentleman. I knew right away he was going to be great because he played off the hot dog cart thing that we were just talking about. So very, very funny. And that Ray Romano story is hysterical.
We'll see that one on social media
Caden's
later
already
today.
cutting it together as one of our comedy clips, which have been doing great. So anyway, thank you all for watching those and sharing and doing everything. And now what we do, we get him the buffet. That's what we do.
That's a nice
We
trade-off.
hook him up. Chris said, look, you come down, you sit in the studio. Phil Collins doesn't get the buffet. He's probably got connections.
I just come on here to get my bills paid. I haven't gotten the buffet yet.
Again, if someone talks about getting paid for doing this show one more time, people are getting paid. I can't even believe this. What?
They do it for the love of the game.
I get 20% off Starbucks. That's all I get now. On a sad note, I just want to say this because everyone's texting me right now, all my friends. Carl Weathers passed away. Apollo Creed.
Oh, no.
And also Chubbs from Happy Gilmore.
And he was on Arrested Development.
He was so good
great on that show.
I just rewatched season 2.
Oh, that's sad to hear.
So that is sad to hear. Carl Weathers, I never met the gentleman, but Apollo Creed, I mean, come on. That was one of my heroes. Well, not heroes, like a villain, really.
Yeah.
But anyway, I know that's coming across social media, and I have like everyone blowing my phone up right now telling me. So anyway, rest in peace, Carl Weathers. You were great. Apollo Creed. Let's get on to something a little happier. This show's already been gold. Let's get on to Post with Punchlines, ladies and gentlemen. First one up, pretty good endorsement deal. So Brock Purdy, Matt, signed a deal with Toyota. And if you think about it, Brock Purdy kind of is like a Toyota Camry, really. He's dependable.
Fair.
He'll get you where you need to be.
Mm-hmm.
Runs well. Doesn't stand out in a crowd. Boom. Brock Purdy. There it is. So there you go. Toyota, national endorsement. I mean, most of these high-profile quarterbacks, they get like Cadillac Escalade, Jeep, like big Jeep Grand Cherokees.
Yeah.
Toyota.
You might as well have the Honda Accord sponsorship. As many of them as you can drive.
But it fits Brock Purdy, man. He is a Toyota Camry. Brock Purdy also has endorsement deals with Alaska Airlines, which offered priority boarding to all passenger wearing his jersey. That's a great promotion by Alaska Airlines. Also, Buffalo Wild Wings, which had the quarterback, they had something called a Purdy Great Burger. And it's apropos, I think, that he has an Alaska Airline deal. Makes sense. He's cheap, like Alaskan Airlines, mostly on time, like Alaskan Airlines, and he can find holes in the defense almost as big as the hole in the Alaskan Airlines plane from a few weeks ago. Boom! That's a pretty funny joke. I would have expected some applause. Oh, what? I have to mention Ray Romano to get laughs in this room? Oh, come on.
No, you just have to swear.
Oh, man. Chris, there's a rumor that I swore. What?
Oh, yeah.
In the sports book or in your office?
In my office. We actually had sound on the soccer.
Oh, thank God.
We were spared here because Mr. Bond was in
No, wait a second. But what I looked up, I see oysters. I see shucking oysters. I think I said shuck is what I said. I said shucking oysters.
Hey, the left hand doesn't tell the right hand what's going on.
All right. One more post that we found. Win in juice, laid back. So there's a billionaire, Peter Thiel. Do you know about this Olympics on steroids thing?
Only because you sent it to me.
Okay. So there's this guy, ladies and gentlemen. He's a billionaire.
Let's show the graphic first. Yeah.
Early investor in PayPal and Facebook. So he's got money. So he's come up with this idea. They're going to do an enhanced games. It's an Olympic-style competition that allows performance-enhancing drugs.
Now, this has been a joke on the internet for years and years and years. Let's see how high humans really can jump or how fast they really can run. But it looks like it's going to be a possibility. And they've put together some really interesting and creative marketing. I mean, this promo that we found.
We have a promo.
Is as professional as it gets.
All right, let's run it for the enhanced
I
game.
am the fastest man in the world.
Allegedly. We need asterisks.
Usain Bolt's world record.
You can do it in 9 seconds.
You've never heard of me. I am a proud, enhanced athlete.
I'm a proud
Now,
I don't know. I don't know if I agree with the verbiage in this promo, but
as we build the first sporting event that allows performance enhancements.
He talks about
and pays all
bodily
athletes.
autonomy. I'm like, I don't know if the two are related here.
The enhanced games are
Isn't
real.
that the scuba symbol right there? or
They just
whatever?
like took a bunch of stuff from other stuff and put it together and then put it in their bodies.
Well, I don't know. They're going to set records for sure. Here's some of the activity. They have swimming. So basically the reason they'll swim so fast is they're going to do so much steroids that they'll grow gills. And they'll have like Aquaman like swim times. They're going to make Michael Phelps look like a kid at the YMCA.
Yeah.
Gymnastics, they have to do outside. I don't know if you know this. It's because when they hit the vault, they won't bang their heads on the roof because they're going to be so strong and fast. Weightlifting, the event's going to be sponsored by Ford F-150 truck. Lift it over your head. You win a new truck.
Fair.
Track and field, the new 100-meter record will be measured in eye blinks. And then they have a category called combat. Do we know what this is, combat?
Is it just John Jones every fight he's ever had?
I don't know. Yeah, right.
there we
I
go.
don't know what's going on, but it's going to make the UFC look like your kid's karate class. But I don't know what network is going to air this.
What
or,
network would air this is my question.
I don't know. We have to talk to Chris Andrews to see if there'll be any lines on these.
I mean, you want to talk about blood money.
The 100 meters under 8 seconds.
Yeah, over under 8.5 seconds.
This is insane. All right, so we're going to bring Chris in now. Am I right? Let's bring Chris Andrews in. Yeah,
Come on
Chris,
down.
come on in. You're the boss here, Chris. I don't. You can come in
We
anytime. Chris,
won't
I
ask
did-
any enhanced Olympics questions yet.
No, that's too far. Oh,
Gotta
we
let
waxed
you
the
get
table
your
down.
handicap in for those.
So Chris Andrews is here, ladies and gentlemen, the director of the sports book. Look at this man now, because you might not see him for the next week starting Monday, because obviously the Super Bowl's in town. There's going to be heavy action, heavy betting. I still see a lot of Kansas City Chiefs shirts around the hotel, but no Niners stuff yet. They come a little later from California.
I saw that they've reserved like every hangar.
Oh,
in
really?
town. Yeah, the private planes coming in from the Bay Area.
Oh, because they got the money too,
They got
right?
the money,
And
yeah.
I saw, that's right. I saw a thing on Twitter about, or X or whatever it's called, the Henderson private.
Yeah,
they're
right.
sold out.
They're sold out,
There's
yeah.
no space. I mean, I guess you could land in the middle of the desert and then just
walk.
Just walk.
I'm interested to see because I'm coming back. I'm engineering for the UNLV basketball radio broadcast in Albuquerque on Saturday.
Okay.
We play that game and then come back and land at that executive terminal Saturday night.
Oh.
So that's going to be a real who's who of private planes. I have a fun little hobby when we take off and land at these executive terminals of looking up the plane numbers.
you
'cause
can
it's all,
do that,
it's all
right.
public record. You can get it blocked, but most of them are public record. And I usually will do one or two. The coolest looking planes, I'll see who it is, where it's coming from. I may have to employ a staff of people to help me out with that for this week because it's going to be so crowded. I'm assuming they're just going to land us, slow down to a pretty slow pace, let us all jump out, and then take off and go
There
where
you
they're
go.
going to go.
And the one plane you did, it's Jimmy Vaccaro's private plane is
Of
out
course.
there. Is that right? James
One of his.
one of his private planes. So, Chris, right in the middle of the show, hot off the presses, Matt has held this up. He said 19 pages. 19 pages of props.
Yeah.
This is an exciting. Now, Vinny told us the other day that literally 50% of the handle now can come
I think it's going to be more.
It's going to be more.
I think it's going to be more, yeah. Oh, I'll
Now-
tell you why. Because
Please.
the number is not that significant. Not like we're on a 3 or a 7, where you really have to make sure you get the right number. Here, if you wind up laying 2 instead of 1.5, it's probably not that big a deal. The money lines are going to be pretty tight. So I think, there'll be plenty of bets on the point spread and the money line.
Right.
But I think you'll get more on these props.
And how long have you been involved with props? You've been doing this
Props?
prop bets for the Super Bowl.
Oh, God, probably since 86.
Right. We've mentioned
And that
before,
was
right? Yeah, the
Willie
refrigerator
Perry,
Perry.
Well, I mean, that was my cousin that did.
Yeah.
And I didn't. Listen, I think I've told the story on this here. It's one of the biggest scores of my life. I had the Bears from early in the season, and then I got to the Super Bowl. Everybody said, you got to hedge back. I said, I'm not hedging anything. They're gonna murder this team. And I wound up pressing my bet. So when they had. My cousin did the Art Manteris, by the way.
Okay.
Did the William the Refrigerator Perry thing. Hey, well, I said, I'm not putting it up. I'm telling you right now, Ditka's going to stick it. I know Ditka is, from whatever.
From Pittsburgh.
Yeah. Hey, Jerry. And, he's going to, I'm going to stick it to those Vegas guys.
Right.
I mean, that's his personality. I said, I'm not putting it up. But the next year I started putting up different things. And, if, kind of gone from there where I think back, it's just massive from where we started with some couple of little props, and now I think we have 300 some right now.
300.
That's mine. I mean, some guys have more, but we're kind of sticking ours.
I was going to ask the total number because obviously it started with that one prop and now it's 19 pages plus.
Yeah.
And you told me that there's more coming, right? How close is this
next-
packet right now to the final packet?
No,
that's put out?
this is it till next Friday
Okay.
or maybe Saturday. Because all these NBA guys, I used to do a lot of props with NBA guys, but now you never know if they're playing even on the day of the game.
Jeez.
So we'll do some things like that with cross sport parlays, but we can't really do them till next Friday or Saturday.
Yeah, and that's kind of where I was going with that, is because I love the cross-sport parlays. It's really hard to handicap them as quickly as you need to. You have about 2 days of notice, but when did those start coming into the fold? Because I think those are the ones that kind of catch the public eye a lot.
Yeah, and I'll give credit to one of my compadres here, Jay Cornegay.
Oh, yeah.
Just a terrific, and I think Jay might be on our show now.
Yeah, either him or John Murray coming on Monday.
Yeah, Jay.
nice.
That's how Jay
Sports by the
kind of
book.
made his bones in this business, was doing those kind of unique props, and he kind of set the stage, and a lot of us followed. I got a quick story. This was
Take your time, because we love your stories.
What year did the Raiders? Was it 2000 that they were in the Super
With
Bowl?
Tampa Bay?
2001, because it was right after the
2001,
Patriots'
okay.
first one. Yeah.
So I'm thinking, so I tried to do some of these props. I said, I got this prop. Total Manchester United total goals versus interceptions in that Super Bowl.
Oh my God.
So they bet me on the interceptions, and Manchester United scored 5 goals. I have to be the smartest bookmaker that's ever been. Then they throw 6 interceptions in the Super Bowl.
Was that Rich Gannon?
Rich
yeah,
Gannon.
in Tampa
And
Bay.
Brad
Gannon
Johnson.
had 5, and Johnson capped it off with 1. And oh my God!
the
Like
ultimate.
that, Man, you kicked off at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, my God.
I am so smart. It's scary.
And by the way, the defensive back coach for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in that game, Mike Tomlin, head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Jerry, there you go. I'm going to wear that grease pen out today, brother. I'm wearing it out. So now, obviously, there's popular props, right? There's ones that people like more. Which ones are the most popular ones here?
The most popular ones are the alternate point spreads.
Okay.
Those are the most popular ones. But, I mean, these guys are, I got this one. I don't want to say too much, but he's been a customer of ours for years.
Okay.
And he wired in hundreds of thousands into the cage.
Okay.
And he's gone through at least 6 figures of it. Well into so far.
I know. Oh, I ruined it.
He outed himself.
Damn it. Anyway,
Yeah.
sorry, Chris.
Anyway, he's been firing at me, and he's like, we beat him out a little bit last year. He's beaten us a little bit over the years. Though.
Okay.
He definitely has. So I pay close attention when he bets, because this is like one of his things. He studies hard work. I'm doing it like a couple days a year.
Right.
He's spending 364
Well,
days.
you have all year that you have to study. Yeah, right. But the thing about the exact score bet, Jeff Parles said last year he had Kansas City 38 points. He had it. Yeah, he predicted 30. That's what he said yesterday on the show. I was like, Jeff, what do you got this year? He's like, I'll get back to you. Because Jeff's got to get to his lab and let us figure it out. But we made some lists of our favorite props. Is that right?
Yep.
So we have a graphic, Matt. Is
Our
that right?
Fave 5. Who do you want to go first?
You go first.
I'll go first.
Sure.
Producer first. So yeah, we did our Fave 5. You remember the T-Mobile Fave 5 back in the day? Unlimited texting, unlimited calling to your favorite.
Hold on one second. Chris,
Oh,
do you remember
God,
when you
yeah,
had to wait
geez.
till 9 p.m. to make phone calls?
Yes,
Yeah.
I do. And I'd get on my wife. Now, you have to wait so we don't have to pay those rates.
We had unlimited. You had minutes that was like 40 cents per minute a day in my car phone in my 89 Nissan Sentra.
Yeah.
But after 9, all bets were
All
off.
bets.
Wild West, baby.
But if you met like a girl you really liked, you're like, I might call her at 7.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna pay,
telling you,
yeah.
she's worth the 40 cents a minute. But anyway, so your Fave 5.
So we did our Fave 5, and you'll like the little logo that I threw on there, because it is the Fave 5 logo from the commercials.
Okay.
So these are my Fave 5, and these are subject to change, obviously. Some of these odds may or may not move, including my second one where the odds have moved actually in my favor. My first one, Patrick Mahomes to not throw an interception at plus money in this one.
It's not Josh Allen, so that's probably a good bet.
He hasn't thrown a pick in 4 games.
Is that right?
And it was the final game of the regular season, and every playoff game, he has not thrown a pick yet. He had a stretch prior to that, though, where he threw a pick, at least one pick in 4 straight. So he's really, really turned it around. It's kind of a theme throughout my picks. I think that it'll be a pretty run-heavy, conservative
That should
game
be a
script.
run-heavy game, yeah.
So I think that they make easy check-down throws for Mahomes. He also doesn't really have a great receiver that he trusts downfield on the boundaries. So I think a lot of his longer completions are going to be over the middle of the field where he excels.
Travis Kelce,
finding Travis Kelce and others. So I got Mahomes.
Bad news on that. Kadarius Toney is healthy and able to play.
No, I may have to.
Yeah.
This guy's wait. We have to stop. This guy. What is going on with this guy? So
Mahomes does not like him. You can see he does not like the guy.
So where is he though? He didn't. There was a funny meme of him grabbing onto a jet engine on a plane, like he's coming regardless.
I think he's coming this time. I don't know if he's going to be active, but he's
just his presence alone. Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
All right.
So Mahomes, no interception. This one has actually moved since we did this before the show in my favor. I've got first quarter under 10 points, now 10.5 points. A little bit different juice there, but historically, Super Bowl's very, very slow to get started.
They come out tight a little bit, right?
And again, I think run-heavy game script. I think we're going to see some conservative play calling, at least at the beginning. The average of points in the first quarter over the last 20 Super Bowls has been 8.
Oh, wow.
So I think that this one goes under. If you can get it at anything minus 150 or under, I think that it's...
didn't you also say you believe it's coming out at least one quarter to be scoreless? That's
that's my next one. I think that one quarter to be scoreless, not that I necessarily 1,000% think that that's going to happen, but at 4-1,
right?
I mean, I like a shot on that at 4-1. Not my highest odds though.
Okay.
The total,
we're getting to that.
Total combined field goals over 3.5. I think with the run heavy game script and especially early on, nobody wants to take any crazy chances. I like that one, and you can get that one at some plus money, plus 140.
Right. You got,
I like
the Niners kicker's Ray Wershing. Is it Ray Wershing still? Is he still there? Robbie Gould.
I think they wish they had Robbie Gould.
They wish they had Robbie Gould because this
Jake
guy
Moody.
That's right, Moody.
Yeah.
Who they drafted.
I think that's a big flaw in their team. I've been saying that.
I remember when the Arizona Cardinals drafted a kid out of UCLA, I think. John Lee was a kicker in the first round.
Yeah.
I think it was the first round or early second. They drafted a kicker, and the guy did not last in the league whatsoever.
There's no Sebastian Janikowski.
Janikowski's the one exception, right? Al Davis is like, I need this guy. And then he played for a million years.
Out. And then my last one here, Deebo Samuel, MVP. Again, just a shot at the odds at 30-1. I think a guy that has the possibility to touch the ball and impact the game in so many different kinds of ways. If you're taking a long shot, I think Deebo at 30-1 to win MVP might not be that bad. But we'll go to Frank's next. That 30-1 is nothing compared to your Super Bowl MVP. Yeah.
By the way, Frank Murgy just chimed in. Jay Cornegay moved the line. I think I told you the story. My buddy from Pittsburgh was at the Imperial Palace. This is when they still had
That's
chalk.
where Jake got started.
That's where we met him, and I think they were still writing the lines in chalk there. Maybe
yeah.
This is like in the early '90s. One of our first trips to Vegas. Murgy came up, bet on the Pirates to beat the Cardinals. Put like 2,000, put a lot of money on it, and they came out, wiped the board, and changed that. So he moved the line. So that's a claim to fame. Frank Murgy moved the line, and Jay Cornegay came out at the end of the day because Frank was betting all day. And gave him a leather Imperial Palace bag.
Oh, wow.
And I don't know if he still has it. Let me know if he still has it.
That might be worth something.
It might be worth something. So Jay Cornegay's the name I've always thought of, and Matt brought him up the other day. I'm like, he gave my buddy a bag because he moved the line.
Great guy.
That's what I hear. That's what Matt said, and he's going to be on your show next week?
Yeah, either him or John Murray, who's his number 2.
That's the Westgate guy, right?
I
met John. I don't know him well, but I met him.
Yeah, I used to work there. So I've known Jay since I was a kid, and John was my superior, if you want to call it that. We have a great relationship now. I love those guys over at Westgate.
Like I'm your superior now. That's cool.
Course.
All right, so anyway, let's get to...
let's check out Frank's.
All right, now, I'm a little... Now, this is the shocker. I'm going to go under on Patrick Mahomes' pass attempt.
And Jeff couldn't believe that yesterday.
I know. Jeff almost fell off his chair. 36.5 pass attempts. I think, again, we've been talking and we're hearing run, a lot of runs. Mahomes, 36 seems like a lot of passes. I feel like that's too high, so I'm going under. It's even money. I like it. Now, Patrick Mahomes, staying on Pat. Now, this is the bet I used to bet all the time, and I'm very glad there's a prop here at the South Point. Longest completions of the game. Now, they're going to be maybe a little tighter in this game, but I like over 36.5. It's for both quarterbacks, and I'm taking the over. And why? Because I'm a stupid football fan that likes to see the aerial. I like to see long passes, right? This doesn't sound like a long completion. Now, you look at a lot of the Niners, little check down to McCaffrey coming out of the backfield. Ayuk, I think it's going to happen with the Niners easier than Mahomes because Mahomes burned me when I used to bet this, but the best at the longest completion on a Monday night was Aaron Rodgers. I think it hit every time, and they'd have it up to like 41, 42, and within the first quarter, you were guaranteed to win. So me and my buddy Christian, B-Town Dummy, who might be watching, so I'm just open for long completions. It's a very exciting bet, and it's minus 110. Then Brendan Ayuk to score the 49ers' last touchdown, plus 450. Why not? I've taken a flyer kind of like you did on your 400.
Yeah, well, he's been a great goal line threat as of late.
Yeah.
They've been looking for him in the back of the end zone, kind of coming across on routes, and he's really good at kind of freestyling. Once the coverage breaks down and Mahomes does his pointing, it's usually, or Purdy rather, does the pointing when he rolls out. Purdy also surprisingly mobile, so I think Ayuk, not a bad look at all.
I think he's underrated at that position.
Especially with those odds, yeah.
And then Sam Darnold, MVP. Again, this is a stupid one that we talked about the other day. Brock Purdy, I am not rooting for Brock Purdy to get injured. I'm just in case. I have an emergency plan. And if the Niners win, which they are favored to win, Sam Darnold's not a bad. This is a guy I wanted the Steelers to maybe take a look at when they needed a quarterback.
I like Darnold, except he does not protect the ball, whether it's interceptions or fumbles. And that's how you lose football games. But he has the talent. There's no doubt.
Yeah,
Could he play one great game? Absolutely.
Yeah, so $10 maybe? Whatever.
10 wins you 2,000.
Wins me $2,000. You know what I mean? I'm buying Starbucks for everybody. Oh, wait. I did that.
Where's mine?
I will get you. I'm going to get you after
Everybody.
the show. Chris. I was waiting for you by the door. All right. Anyway.
And Chris, you were nice enough to give us your favorite five.
Yes, we have some Chris Andrews' favorite.
I just was, you got to remember, I'm the one making these numbers.
Exactly.
So, I mean, I don't like anything that much,
I know, exactly.
I do like this one, though. I like the total points in the game to be more than the longest field goal.
Oh,
well, here's why. Because, I mean, the longest field, what's it going to be? Probably 47.
Right, I would say in the
maybe
40s, right?
55. Or what can the total of the game be? Well, last year was like 70, right? So, I mean, you have infinity on one side and not so much on the other side.
I love that bet. That's a great one. That's again, these are exciting bets. I mean, if you're going to be at a party, at a Super Bowl party, you don't bet a lot of football. That's one that's a fun bet to make right there. I love that.
And I like the third quarter over 10. I know the Niners have really been a good second half team, and I think, if they are down, I think they come out and, firing, which they might be down. You never know. But I kind of like that third quarter over the 10.
Well, they get that longer halftime, right, at the Super Bowl.
It's going to be a little
time.
longer, yeah.
Right, because Usher's going to be performing, and they get to make adjustments, and Shanahan's always been good at that.
Yeah. They're a very good second half team, no doubt.
So that's a great bet, too. Over that third quarter's only 10 points. Yeah. Wow. I like that a lot, too. These are great.
And Kyle.
I never said
the juice man.
Yeah.
The juice. Kyle,
I like him to score the last touchdown. I got Jason Weingarten, who was on Jeff's show. Jeff show.
Jason Sharp.
Yeah, I mean, I recommended Jason for a job for something. He's double sharp. He really is. He kind of mentioned that, and I
like that bet too.
I had been looking at that earlier, so I kind of like that at 30-1. You can probably find higher. That's on my board as a 30-1.
And you know why that's a great bet too? Because say the Niners are up big and they want to reward him. They're close to the goal line. They're like, this is the guy. I think he's 8 straight Pro Bowls. 8 straight Pro Bowls as a fullback, which is now you're talking Hall of Fame category.
That's because he's one of 8 fullbacks left in the league.
There's only not a lot of fullbacks in the league. Tim Lester's the last guy I think for the Steelers, but also his wife now too. His wife just got the big NFL deal, so that might help a little cross promotion for her.
30-1. I mean,
30-1's great.
Don't bet your whole bankroll on it, but throw a couple bucks on that if you think. I like Brock Purdy. I'm thinking exactly 2 touchdowns. Now, by the way, that's not over under. It has to be exactly 2. So plus 210. I don't know where we're at now, but I think that's a pretty decent chance that'll be. And if you like the Chiefs and you think that they can win this game, you could lay 3.5, take plus 190.
That is a really good bet.
I mean, I do the reverse teasers, and a lot of time that minus 3.5 that hits a lot on the reverse teasers. I mean, so again, these are just like I said, I'm the one making the numbers. It's not like I'm not going to go crazy over it, but I think that those are you might have a little fun with those.
So what should people look for when they come down here to the sports book? You got everything over there.
Look for this packet because we can't put them all on the board. But if you check with the writers because the numbers have been moving like crazy.
Okay.
I mean, like crazy. So just, you want to know, hey, what do you have number 3019,
Right.
And
is it good to get in early on the props, right?
I don't know.
You never know, right?
I mean, some yes, some no.
We were talking with Jeff about you like the under on Mahomes passing attempts.
I do, which is rare for me. Yes.
He was saying wait until it gets closer to the game because that's a number that's likely going to be bet up. So I think a lot of it just depends on the nature of the prop you're taking.
Yeah, let me just tell you the pattern, and I can see it already this year. The wise guys come in, they bet no and under, and no on whether it's a safety or a touchdown. Here's the thing: if you're going to bet touchdowns, be careful. They like to bet no on individual players' touchdowns. if somebody gets 2 touchdowns, then they're going to cash a whole bunch because they know somebody's going to score a touchdown.
Right.
Probably.
Yeah, it's a super.
You know,
unless it's the Rams.
Unless it's the Rams that score exactly. That's another story I got. Probably somebody's going to score some touchdown, a touchdown. But, if they bet no across the board, most guys aren't going to catch a touchdown. But like I said, if somebody winds up with 2 touchdowns, then that really opens up a lot of their nose to hit.
Interesting.
And then, so that's a strategy. But, later in the week, everybody comes in, oh, yeah, Kittle's going to score a touchdown. Oh, yeah, Kelsey's going to score a touchdown. Oh, yeah, Mahomes going to run one in. Oh, yeah, Purdy's going to run one.
So how busy on the last day? On Super Bowl Sunday, obviously the game kicks off 3:30 our time.
Yeah.
What's it like here?
Saturday's actually a little busier.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because, Sunday, guys are – they'll come out early Sunday, but then they're going to their parties or whatever. But of course, we're going to have over 4,000 people at the various parties here.
Is a segue
so this place is going to be pretty.
This is exactly where I was going.
This place is going to be pretty busy too.
Right.
But Saturday usually is actually a little busier with bigger money. But
okay.
Sunday's more like $10, $20 better.
Now this was exactly where I was going with this. Now I am very excited. I was in Vegas for one Super Bowl, 1996. Steelers Dallas. I was here for that game. Ended badly, obviously.
Yeah. Thanks, Neil O'Donnell.
Although he said the guy was supposed to, I forget the receiver.
I think it's probably right.
And Neil,
because you can't throw a pass that bad.
Was it Larry Brown? I think the guy.
Larry Brown caught 2 interceptions.
It was right to him, and we were driving, and we had the momentum. Oh my God!
Yeah, I know.
Bam Morris, I love that team. So I've never been. So I'm going to be here. So we talked to Ann, our director. I'm going to be kind of the guy on the move here at the South Point on Super Bowl Sunday. I'm going to hit all these different parties. And go ahead if we can put the graphic up. So the big game parties here, presented by Pepsi, the Grand Ballroom, the exhibit hall, the showroom. So the Grand Ballroom holds how many people?
About 2,500.
2,500 people. Yeah. How many TVs? There's just TVs everywhere.
A bunch. I don't know. Yeah, a bunch.
Bunch of TVs. Then also the exhibit hall, the showroom. It's free admission. You got to be 21, obviously, to come on out. All sorts of food specials. Doors open at 10:30. And there's betting windows, not just here, right?
Yeah, we'll have betting windows, live personnel, and kiosks upstairs. And around all the places where we have seating to watch the game.
Right.
But I was checking with catering to make sure. I said, do I have this right? It's about 4,000 seats, including everything, the sports book here, including Grandview over there, including the showroom. We can accommodate about 4,000 people.
Oh my!
Yeah.
And Matt, what are you doing?
That does not include the private party too.
There is a private party.
There's a private party.
Now, how can I get into that one?
You can't.
Okay. I can't use your name at the door.
You cannot.
There's like a special password.
Yeah, Chris. I'm using it myself. Yeah.
Are you going to the private party?
I'm going to go and get something to eat at the private party.
And what do you wear on Super Bowl Sunday? Now I know because today you got a Nevada shirt on.
They're playing tonight.
They're playing tonight. Is it a home in Reno or are they playing?
It's in Reno. Yeah.
Okay. So what are you going to wear on Super Bowl Sunday?
Either my Franco shirt or my Mean Joe Green shirt.
Oh, those are 2 good ones right there.
Just to remind people, we have 6. You guys are pretty good too. Yeah, but we have 6 of these trophies at home.
Are you upset if the Niners win their 6th and tie us, or you don't really?
No, I mean it's no.
Yeah,
no.
It's not a team that we hate.
It's not a team that And I always say I do not hate the Niners nearly as much as I should.
Right.
Because all those years they tortured me up in Reno.
Yeah.
But they did have Joe Montana, and I've told that story too.
Yep.
How can you not love Joe? And then they replaced him with Steve Young,
another guy
who I still think. And I've said this many times, the most underrated quarterback of all time.
Unbelievable.
Steve Young is fantastic.
And ran the ball more. Like he was ahead of his time the way there's that one famous run of his. Yeah. It's got to be like 40 or 50 yards.
Yeah, against Minnesota.
Is that who it was? Yeah. I remember when he was drafted by the LA Express, I think.
Yeah, he was.
A USFL team, out of BYU, right?
Yeah, one year. So we had some big fantasy football contests, and I had Steve Young one year.
Okay.
And our backup quarterback was Brett Favre, who was like, and I remember like halfway through the year, some guy, we get together. Who are the idiots that have Brett Favre and never play him? The same guy that has Steve Young and is winning the contest.
Now, Matt, Super Bowl Sunday, what are you up to?
Update as of this morning. I don't know if it was even shared with you. I will be right here.
I heard you mention it. So you're going to be anchoring.
I'll be in studio, producing, hosting, wrangling you in, a little bit of everything.
Wrangling me and
doing the Lord's
probably
work.
The hardest job. So listen, that's not this weekend. Unfortunately, we got a week to do. What do we do on Sunday? What do you do this Sunday?
Okay,
Hoops.
I'm going to church on Sunday.
You're going. Well, there you go.
I haven't gone in months, and I'm gonna pray that I'm insane, that I'm sane by next Sunday.
All right. Anyway, it's going to be a huge week next week here for our show, Punchlines, and also Sports by the Book. You're here on Monday and Tuesday doing Sports by the Book.
And I'll be on as a guest Wednesday as well.
Okay. So you're going to be around all week, and then you leave town for a couple days, but you'll be back for Super Bowl Sunday. It's going to be huge. Like we just showed you, the big game parties here are going to be amazing. So make sure you come out to the South Point. Make sure you come and get your 19 pages of props. This one's mine. I'm taking this home. I love everyone's prop bets that we talked about. I'm going to bet them all. I'm going to be stupid. You know me. I'm going to bet them all. I love the prop. Because I don't care about the two teams. So I'd rather restrict some individuals.
I have no great opinion on the game at all. I really thought it should be closer to pick 'em. So I'll root for whoever we need come next Sunday. I have no idea.
Thank you again. Like I said, myself, Jeff Parles, Alex White, we're going to be out and about all week with our press credentials, hitting Radio Row, hitting some functions, and we're going to be making some videos that we're going to show on our show. So it should be very exciting. Come back Monday for Punchlines. Alex White will be here as a co-host, and the return of Butch Bradley, who told a hysterical story about Rodney Dangerfield. I don't know, man. It's hard to top the Ray Romano story today. So that was excellent. So thank you to Noah. Thank you to Scott, Phil Collins. Chris Andrews and I are going to see the Phil Collins show, Still Collins, here in the showroom at South Point. You can go Friday, Saturday, or Sunday at 7:30. No football on Sunday. Come see Still Collins. Thank you, everybody. Sean, and Caden, Jerry. I did not swear on the show. I swear to God. Oh, damn it. All right. We'll see you on Monday, ladies and gentlemen. Punchlines, lines, live in Nevada, every show.